we're talking to Dr. Haye, who has stepped out into the fray, offering himself up as a candidate for the People's National Party. And one of the things we're getting from you is this whole thrust about utilizing social engineering into educating and building up the constituencies. But your mainstay, albeit your expertise is in the military, your mainstay is medicine. What's your take on the performance of Dr. Tufton and his approach to Cornwall Regional Hospital?
Well, as I pointed out then, I think the challenges were many, and I didn't see it fit to continue to open the hospital. It ended up being closed, as you probably are aware. That's a big challenge. Again, medicine can't be viewed with political lenses. And so, as we recognize the challenges, we'll all be very happy, and you too, when it's back opened, if it becomes opened. We have, I think, an excellent team down there, led by Professor Archibald MacDonald, who was my principal at the UWI, and I have every confidence that he'll do the best he can. And so in the same situation as I am in, where I have a short time to complete a lot of work, he finds himself in that situation. He's up to the task, just like I am.
One of the things you use the word if, is there seeming to create that there's an ambiguity in respect of the response. Could you clarify that for us?
What was the if, ma'am? That's a clarity. I'm following you.
When we spoke about the Cornwall Regional, you said if in terms of the closure, and I wanted to be sure that your position was, what your position was in terms of the closure, in terms of asking about your performance with Dr. Tufton.
Right, my position was what happened, that the facility needed to be closed. It ended up being closed. It still is closed.
Oh, so the if was not, there was no importance to be attached.
But you also suggested that if it reopens or when it reopens, what do you think would delay the opening of the hospital?
You're being very good at what you do, and I love that. As I pointed out, under the leadership of Professor MacDonald, in whom I have every confidence, I'm pretty sure the outcome will be the best it can be.
All right, so you're looking for the best outcome for Cornwall Regional Hospital. You're looking for the best outcome from Jamaica as well, indicating that the two things that you're putting to the country as reasons to vote for your social engineering and emotional intelligence as ways of dealing with the situations we're looking at. Clean your brain, change your life. And that's a concept.
Train your brain.
Oh, train your brain, clean your life,
change your life.
Change your life. All right. Train your brain, change your life, though, seems to be something that already exists. The zones of special operations seem to marry these concepts of both the crime management as well as the social engineering that you seem to be calling for. Is that not sufficient? Can there just not be an amendment or an expansion of the zones of special operation to accomplish what you're already speaking of?
We're accustomed to a candle having one end. It's the end we light. If you follow through that wick, it extends to the bottom. What I'm suggesting is, we need to light the top, tear off the bottom, light the bottom, and even cut out a piece in the middle and light the middle as well. A thousand zosos is not going to solve the problem of violence that we have. And so while we provide covering fire, which is provided by the zoso, you can't have a criminal feeling comfortable, guns blazing anywhere. You must have something combating that. That's not the be-all and end-all. Can never be. It must be through social engineering that we have persons trained. People get their values from their parents. If the parents don't have it, it's usually school or Sunday school or through any other religious organization. You have. But countries which are successful, Hungary, Canada, Russia, the US, to name a few, the UK, they have clear norms that they inculcate in their people. For example, I want my child to recognize that it is okay and expected that he keeps the door open for someone else coming in behind him, or allows a woman to go ahead of him, or if he's on a bus, he gets up to give an elderly person a seat. Not everybody know that.
Is this thrust towards social engineering something coming exclusively from your own campaign, or is this something that we should expect from the PNP's approach to the election?
This is even for GLP. What I'm presenting is not just about PNP. We're happy to welcome JLP on board. And you can stay JLP, grasp the concept. If we all do this, the tide rises for Jamaica. I start feeling safer ultimately. Is this within a week, or a year, or 5 or 10? No, but if it doesn't start somewhere, and I'm saying let's start it now, I'm bringing that to the table. I have the therapeutic community behind me. Everybody ready. We've never heard this represented at this level. We're very happy, I assure you.
So you're making it very very clear that this is, for you, at least through your eyes, revolutionary being put on the table. But you've also made the point, this is not going to fix the situation tomorrow. And right now, given that you have said Jamaicans don't feel safe, and you certainly don't feel safe, given that you are saying that you're potentially moving your child, what sort of...
You're very good at what you do, so am I. I have not suggested that. Let's just clarify.
That you would...
I don't feel safe.
So you don't feel safe?
And I haven't suggested that I'm moving anybody.
No, you indicated to us at the beginning of this conversation that you were considering, just like you had a childhood in Jamaica, that you would want to also have your child have a childhood here in Jamaica as well. So, given this situation now that we're seeing with crime, and given that you're saying the social engineering is not going to be a tomorrow solution, is there any contribution that your campaign has to assisting in coming up with more tomorrow-oriented solutions so that people can feel safe in the short term?
So we're starting. I'm not alone, and so we certainly have all hands on deck. There are people coming out of the woodwork, pledging support. And this is now about comrades or laborers. People pledging support in areas that I've worked, and we have the integrity. People recognizing that I mean well, and I'm presenting to the people nothing that's necessarily party-oriented. I have to be on a PNP platform. There's a reason for that. I went to high school for free, Michael Manley. Went to university for free, Michael Manley. Had a scholarship in Hungary where I did medicine for free, Michael Manley. I think it's a no-brainer that my support lies within the PNP.
Would you say you represent a cadre of our population that is indebted to the People's National Party because of free education?
Not necessarily. I tell you what I represent. A single parent, regular youth in a regular community who has grasped all opportunities with support, but most importantly, supervision at a parental level, which isn't necessarily the norm, and ensure that out of regular existence, I've been able to become the chief medical officer. That can be another youth in Gregory Park, another youth in Southborough. That's what I take.
So you see your story as inspirational then for the individuals that you're hoping to represent?
Beyond a doubt, that's the side dish. The main dish is the emotional intelligence and the social engineering.
Let's say, Doc, we buy into what you're selling, social engineering, the benefit of it. At the end of the day, though, you may win and the party may lose. Given the leadership race and how bruising it has been, what do you assess the chances of the PNP winning the next election is?
I think there's a very great chance that we will win. We are going to take it. But we recognize that things must start somewhere. And so we need to come out of this well-known, and you probably will agree with me, notion of implementing activities under one administration, another administration comes in, those are discarded, and then we implement new. And so it's why I'm hastening to make the point that what I represent is neither PNP nor it's for both. And so we want to ensure that this is taken forward, because I see no other way than to start that process where we determine for our people what's acceptable and inculcate and provide the education required for that.
So there's no doubt that you would support and are currently an advocate for the continuity of the good policies across administrations for the benefit of Jamaica?
Resounding yes, absolutely. And until we get to that level, we're going to be struggling, as we have been.
So Jamaica benefits if we have that sort of continuity, and that's something that I suppose many Jamaicans have said for many years. But help us with party financing and party organization, because we've been looking at constituencies in the lead up to the anticipated general election, anytime for the next 12 to 18 months. And there have been some constituencies that we have not seen party organization from the People's National Party. Is your constituency, St. Catherine East Central, one of those constituencies where you went in and found on the ground organization that allows you to pick up easily and start off running?
Extremely high organization. I'll tell you, I met the executive on Sunday for the first time, and I was really very relieved to see that there's a team. I'm not starting from scratch. My predecessor certainly was doing tremendous work. The team is there, and they've been able to ensure that I have there, while showing allegiance to who they worked with, they recognize that it's now me, and they're put and pledge their support totally behind me. I feel them, a very warm reception, and remember we're at day 3, and at day 3, I have people calling to say that Let me know when you're coming.
In politics, that date is like 1,000 years. But I want to take it to the newly minted MPs. So when, as constituents, we look at constituencies that seem to be prospering, we look to where Anne-Marie Vaz is, we look to Dunn and see all the nice fancy work over there. In your constituency, can you share with our listeners whether or not there have been any projects that would seem to hearken to the constituents that this is going to be a battleground for the stakes of making sure the area is continuing prosperity?
Well, certainly something that's very clear in my mind. As an addiction psychiatrist, real quickly, there are addictive drugs, for example, ecstasy, which turn reuptake pumps at the level of the nerve ending backwards. And so these pumps take up chemicals which help you to feel happy. And these drugs return back the pumps so that they pump more of these happy chemicals and you feel high. That's what it's about. Well, guess what? I don't see the prosperity trickling downwards. And so we want to turn that pump and move the prosperity from trickling upwards to downwards to the people. That takes being ready to do that. For example, I'm pretty sure that if we found jobs today for 10 persons, probably 5 or 6 of them would not be able to get up every morning to go to work on time, continue to work throughout the day when you should be on a depot phone, and 3, work until the end of the week waiting patiently to collect your salary to then apportion that as needed, as opposed to do here and dance. I'm pretty sure about that. And so it's helping people to recognize what's required to be employable, for example.
So these are some long-term strategies that you think then are necessary for the kind of Jamaica you want to see. But you're first putting that to the voters in the St. Catherine East Central constituency to first become member of parliament in that area. New standard bearer for the People's National Party, Dr. Winston Haye. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Inside the Morning Agenda. It was good to have that conversation with him to help us understand what he'd be offering to the people of St. Catherine East Central. He said it's day 3, but certainly we'll keep our eyes on him as we keep our eyes focused on election watch. We're going to take a break here inside the Morning Agenda and come back